Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wealth Advisory's Top 10 Stocks to Buy. This month we're doing September 2023 because it's almost fall. We're in the dog days of summer. The weather is beautiful outside. Got down to like in the 50s in the mountains out where I live last night. It's amazing. I love this time of year. I'm excited.
Yep.
Excited.
Football's back.
Football's
we got that
back.
to be excited about.
Oktoberfest beers.
Love it. I love
yeah,
Halloween.
It's a good time of year.
It's the
Halloween.
spooky season.
It's the spooky season. It's the food season. You got
be
candy
great.
and then turkey after that. Oh man, I can't wait. Favorite time of year here. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about our top stocks. And before we get into this month's, let's do a little recap of last month's because man, we had a great month. The markets are down. I think we had the S&P was down like 1.3%, the NASDAQ down like 1.7%, the Dow down 2%. Our average across the 10 stocks was 7.6% gain, thanks very bigly in part to Centrus Energy, which I really hope you guys have been buying that stock as we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it for months, especially Jason here. He really likes it. And man, it was up 30-something% last month. I'll take that any day of the week. Hopefully we can get some more of that this month.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, we achieved our goal. We beat the markets. That's what we want to do every month. We can't do it every month, but we sure try. And last month we definitely did, crushed it. So we've got a really good list of stocks this month, and we're hoping we can do the same thing. So before we get into that, also, I just want to point out, as usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to cover the first 4 stocks, my first 2 picks, Jason's first 2 picks, and then we're going to cut things off because this is actually a video that we create for the members of our investing community, and they've all paid to be members, so it wouldn't be fair to give something away for free that they've already paid for. But that being said, we would love to have you as a member. There's a lot of value in the service other than just the top 10, but you will get the full top 10 list every month. So we'll provide a link in the description below the video with a discounted offer to join us at the Wealth Advisory. Honestly, gains from Centrus last month would have paid for like a year or 2 worth of membership. So, you know, you definitely, it pays for itself. There's a lot of value to it other than the Wealth Advisory top 10. And I highly recommend it, even though I'm really biased. I think you should take my advice. So anyway, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into our top stocks, and I'll be giving my pick first. So this is my number 5 stock for the month, our number 10 stock, and it is Leidos. Leidos Holdings is my personal favorite government/military contractor. For those not familiar, it provides support and solutions to the U.S. government and our military. It mainly provides like IT support, information tech services, and also support contractors. So it actually provides people to go into the offices and work. And it's one of the largest contractors in the U.S. by contract revenue. And it's also been on a tear since finding a bottom, I want to say, when is it? Back in late May. I had to check my notes here. It's up 27% since then. Just recently inked new contracts with the U.S. Navy and the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And it really shows how diverse its solutions are and how diverse its client base is. And that's just the last couple of weeks. You know, before that, it's just basically constantly. Every few weeks you get another couple of multi-million-dollar, even multi-billion-dollar contracts. We really like it. It pays a dividend. It raises the dividend whenever it can. And, you know, it's got some momentum behind it. So that's my first pick for the month. And let me put the ticker symbol up here, LDOS. Leidos, love it. You might recognize the name. They make the scanners that you have to walk through in the airport. Yeah. So you want to go ahead and clear that symbol for me? We forgot to pass this back over to ourselves. And we'll get on to Jason's first pick. All right, which is another one of my favorite stocks.
Yeah, Alliance Resource Partners. This is ALRP. Exactly pretty much what you would think the ticker would be on this one.
Hey.
So this is a company that generates revenue from royalties on fossil fuels, producing and marketing them, selling them effectively. It does natural gas, but the big one is coal for them. And so that's been important because I know clean energy is a big thing. It's definitely a growth industry. It's one we've talked about and we'll continue to talk about. At the same time, fossil fuels have not been replaced and we're still there.
Really, still have like 80% of the fuel mix right now?
You know, and what Alliance has done recently, they've been making more money basically for the coal that they're selling. You know, prices are higher for coal. So they've been succeeding with that. And as a result, revenue's up 3.5% year over year. Net income is up 3.8%. Earnings were up 1% at about $250 million. It's a really strong quarter for them. And then the big thing here now we're going to talk about is the payout, the dividend payout, because they declared a quarterly cash distribution of 70 cents per unit. That's $2.80 per unit annualized. That is up 75% year over year. That is a nice bump. And this stock right now, I'm going to write it up here just so you know I'm serious about it. This stock yields 14%. Like, when you're talking about income and, what we like to do in terms of dividends, whether it's with rates or just high dividend payers or royalty companies, you're not going to do much better than a 14% payout, okay?
Especially on a solid company like this one.
Yeah, for a company whose business, like we talked about in terms of the fossil fuel industry, it's not going to go away overnight, okay? So that's why I like Alliance Resource Partners. They're making more money on their product. They're had a really good corner. They're turning up their payout, and it obviously kicks out a really nice yield right now.
Very nice. Very nice. Cushion you to wait for the rise in the share price there. It's nice to know that we can undo things.
I didn't know I could do that.
Right? Learn something new every day, right? That's the way to stay young. All right, so next up is going to be my number 2 pick, and it is an interesting one. It might surprise some of you because I don't think I've ever actually had it as a pick in the top 10. It's Americold. Americold Realty Trust. It's another real estate investment trust, a REIT. We love the REITs because they have to pay us, so much income. Its ticker symbol is COLD, and that is because it specializes in temperature-controlled logistics, also known to us regular folks as cold storage warehouses. The big, huge refrigerated warehouses where, your food sits in between shipments on its way to the grocery store, basically. And so this is a really, really fractured industry. It's around, Americold's the biggest player in it, and they have 20% of the market share. So that just shows you how fractured it is, that the biggest player only has 20% of the market. So that really gives them a huge opportunity to grow by acquiring smaller fragmented operations. It recently started doing that. It's partnered with railroad operator Canadian Pacific Kansas City, and it'll be co-locating Americold warehouse facilities on the CPKC network. So, as the trains come in, they'll be able to offload the goods right directly into these Americold warehouses. They'll stay there. They'll pay the rental, for the space, and then they'll get loaded onto the refrigerated trucks and sent out from there, or loaded back onto refrigerated train cars and sent off on different tracks. And Americold, it's done really, really well this year. It's up a good 20% in 2023, and it's likely to give us a dividend hike in the coming months. So I think it's got momentum behind it. It could continue to give us some gains. It was up about 5% last month. That dividend hike, if it does happen in the near future, that's going to send share prices up probably a little bit more too. So that's my number 4 pick, our number 8 pick, Americold Realty Trust. All right. I'm just becoming an expert at that, that touch screen.
Okay, we got Viper here. So this is one we definitely have to talk about because this is, well, put the ticker symbol OM. So
interesting news about this one recently.
Yeah, so we've talked about this company definitely last month, maybe the month before. It's an oil company, and so. But for a while, they've been an MLP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like Master Limited Partnership, which, is different corporate structure.
It's kind of like the energy version of a real estate investment trust.
Exactly. Typically, they're high yielding. They have to, they trade in units. They have to give out a lot of their income to unit holders.
Mm-hmm.
They're now restructuring as a corporation. Diamondback Energy is going to be the majority owner, but...
Which is as it is currently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but shareholders now are going to be able to have more of a say in the company and votes and stuff like that. It's probably going to lead to more growth. I mean, I think it's going to help it recognize value in mineral royalty assets,
right?
And then it could get included in index funds, or the S&P, things like that, ETFs.
Yep, that's a big one.
So it's going to be more highly traded. It's going to kind of really change the game for the way Viper operates.
Right, and you figure any index that gets added to, if there's any money managers out there that use that index as a benchmark, they're basically going to have to add shares of the company. So it really broadens the investor base a lot when something like that happens.
Right. So that was a really big development in terms of that was this week that came out. We covered that, and so the stock's done well. It's up 4% over the past month. The market liked the news. We like the news. So that's why Venom makes it in here for me, Viper Energy Partners.
Right, and it's still got that great 4%,
Yep.
5% yield there. Yeah, very good one. I like it. All right, so there you have it. Those are our first 4 picks. We're gonna go ahead and do a recap here, and then we're gonna cut it off for the YouTube folks, and get to the rest of our the rest of our picks. They all have ticker symbols too. So, going with the recap. First off, my pick, Leidos Holdings. Love it. They are one of the biggest government contractors, probably like the biggest government contractor that nobody's heard of. That's sort of what I like to say. I mean, outside of Maryland, because they did sponsor the Ironbird Stadium up in Aberdeen, Cal Ripken's baseball team. That minor league team there. But yeah, most people have never heard of Leidos. Maybe they've noticed the name on the security scanners at the airport or something like that. But it's a big company. It inks tons of contracts. It's been doing really, really well this year, and we think the performance could continue. Next up, Jason's first pick here.
Yeah, Alliance Resource Partners. Natural gas, but the big one is really coal for them. And like I said, they've been getting a higher value for their coal. Big payout, juicy yield, 14%. Strong earnings report, really good growth trajectory here as well as the income.
Excellent. Love that one. That's a personal holding of mine too. Next up is Americold Realty Trust, cold storage warehouses. They've had a great year. They just inked an agreement with Canadian Pacific Kansas City Railroad. This, sort of marks the beginning of what I think is going to be a big expansion period for them. So we're gonna add them to the list and see if that momentum that they've had this year holds. And finally, I think this is actually a typo on our list here. It is not General Dynamics. It is, we'll cross that out, Viper.
There we go.
All right, Jason can tell you why he likes it while I write the ticker.
Right. Yeah, so like we said, it's changing structure from an MLP to a corporation. And we think that's going to unlock a lot of value here.
Sorry about the frivolity, guys. Our producer's back there really embarrassed about that. But it's okay, because you know what? It happens, and we're all friends.
Either way,
right?
it's Viper here now. And we like the stock all the same, all right? We'll talk about General Dynamics later.
We do like that one, too. A little freebie for those of you watching on YouTube, maybe. But yeah, Viper's a great company, and I really think you're right. I think that conversion to a corporation, one, it's going to be really easy to go through because they're already recognized as a corporation by a lot of different authorities and stuff like that. And two, I mean, it's going to help them really recognize that value in those assets. So good one, very good. And so there you have it. Those are our first 4 plus 1. And with that, we're going to cut this off for those of you watching on YouTube. As always, thank you for joining us. If you would like to get the rest of the list and become a full-fledged member of the Wealth Advisory, we would love to have you. There's a link to a discounted offer right below the video. Just click that. It'll take you straight to an order page where you can become a member. And, like I said, just one of these picks could pay for your membership for the year. So, it's definitely worth it. If you decide you don't want to, that's okay. As I always say, we won't hold it against you, and we'll keep putting these picks out as long as you want to watch them. So just, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up if you like it, drop a comment if you have an opposing point of view or want to see more or want to hear about different things. And definitely don't forget to hit that bell so that you're notified when we post new content. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next month.